Hello, hi. My name is Gilroy Michael. I'm from Chennai, and I have been in this training industry since 2009. I've been freelancing soft skills, management skills, leadership skills to corporates as well as to educational institutions. I've also trained a lot of colleges within Tamil Nadu and a couple of other institutions across India. And I have been into this freelance training for quite some time, and I've been doing that whenever I get a chance from doing something like this, because as a profession I've been into the HR industry, and I have been getting this done for a lot of organizations who are in need of training. Right. So what I would be talking about today is going to be something where how we actually train our trainers. In other way, TTT. That's TTT, train the trainer. Train the trainer. Train trainers, right? What do we do when we have a topic like this? What does it mean? What is the first thing that comes up into your mind when we talk about train the trainers? Right? According to me, when I attended my first TDT program, I was thinking that it's gonna be something like we would be training other trainers, experienced-wise trainers in the market, who would be again having a brainstorming session and taking things forward according to what is required for the organization. Right? So, well, I was partially correct, but not entirely to the point as to what TTT was all about. This time, according to my way of what I meant TTT is, train the trainers, no matter who it is, whether it's an individual or a manager, or it's going to be another trainer from another organization, or a trainer from the same organization. I could rather train with him, I could rather even get information out of him, and we could work alongside putting in our thoughts, our ideas, and our processes in a way that's going to actually help the organization grow. In other words, it's called as Training Needs Analysis, TNA. Why TNA is important? What is the objective of a training needs analysis? TNA is basically helping out the organization to understand what other training is important for a particular department, and how it's going to be helping the department grow. What are the training prospects that we are looking at? The number of listeners, employees that we are looking at, and what kind of training is going to be given to them, right? So we get this information, the training department or the trainer, we get the information from the heads of the department to understand where are they falling back. So once when we get that information with us, the trainers like us, we create a module, we segregate the topics that is going to be taken on that particular day, or maybe a 2-day program as well. But the outcome of it is fantastic. The way that we give training is basically gamification kind of training. In other words, activity-based training. Why activity-based training? Once a student is in college, he has been lectured, he has been given a lot of theories, and he has to get that into his head, which at times makes him feel stressed. Yes or no? Right? So when they get stressed, what's going to happen? They obviously feel tired. When they feel tired, they would not be interested in the subject at all. Rather, give them an activity-based training. Now, say for example, if I'm going to have an activity-based training on stress management, what are the activities that I would be doing? Right? So the activities that I would think of for stress management, most probably, this is one of my favorites. It's called as a stress buster. I What's a stress buster? It's not a fidget. It's not a punching ball. It's not something that you probably keep laughing away. It's not anything like that. The stress buster that I'm talking about is something which is going to make each and every listener, that my participants, to understand why stress is available and how stress can actually reveal its identity out right away, and how you can prosper from getting stressed. How are the ways that you can move away from stress management? And anger management is different. Now, anger is different, stress is different, right? So stress management is a way of getting a lot of stress busters in place. And when you use stress busters, say for example, the main important training about this activity, which I'm talking about in stress management, is called as who are you? What are you doing here? And why you require this training? So I would ask each and every participant to come up, talk about it, probably let your mind free and let us know what exactly is running in your mind. And with this activity taking place, at least 10 or 15 members in a classroom who would be listening to each one's views, they are going to respond with their views, their way of handling things. And it's actually going to be helping out the person who is in trouble. Yes. And this is again a good way of doing things, because once when you go back home after work, you generally hang out with your friends. Why do you want to hang out with your friends? Because if you move with your friends, you feel, or a person feels, he's stress relieved when talking to his friend. What makes him talk to his friend? Because his friend listens to him about each and every situation that has been happening in his life. Yeah. So when that happens, he's going to go ahead and talk it out or pour it out to the other person. Likewise, when we conduct training, or when I do the training in person, in any kind of organization or in an educational institution, it's mostly the activity based, where I have listeners come in and talk to me or talk out to the class, so they would understand what exactly it is and why it is important for them, right? So the activity based training is quite a good way of getting the DNA across to each and every department of the organization. And when the trainer is involved, it's seriously the best way of doing things, right? So anyway, this is what I've been doing so far, and I have been certified from British Council for Business English Teachers Training. It's rather called as BEPT, and probably I would be pursuing my Cambridge English from British Council again. It's for the CELTA training program. Hopefully, once that is done as well, I've also been giving training across to managing directors of every organization on time management, listening skills. I've also been training on leadership skills for a lot of other managers, a lot of front end executives, and even for the sales team on sales training. Right. I am also looking into the education institutions on giving training on employability skills training, especially for students who are willing to come out from a barrier that they're stuck in and get them on to the place where they need to be, right? So that is one thing which I've been doing so far, and I've been loving it, and I'm also looking forward to joining you at the earliest to showcase my skills and help the listeners to grow in their industry, no matter where they are, whether they are in a manufacturing unit, or whether they are in a retail sector, or even in an IT industry, or, which is my cup of tea, the HR department, right? Thank you for listening to me. Have a great day. God bless.